much of regular season where they need this victory. And at the desk, at least for Mimi, it seems that she might lean towards Rise. What's your take on this series here, Riv?
I think Rise can do it as well. I enjoyed Ender's segment about how they're using util. I think they played that Ascent map really well, despite the loss. Like they're seeing so much more cooperation as the team builds and gets better and better. Mimi talked about them holding the same composition and members. I think it's paying off. Sentinels, I feel like they're still finding a groove. But Vans, you get so much power out of this team. Even if they're not in a groove, they kind of got bumpers on the side, right? They still find a way to get to the finish line. What's this map going to be? You know, is Rise still formulating those pushes together? Here we see a drone and Sentinels start off hot and carry that momentum. There is a bit of the heat right there.
You think it starts off hot for Rise, but it's still going to be TENS getting the first blood in this game. So a little bit of an owl drone towards the garage. The rest of them working back towards this mid side. It's going to be a standard plant and dash away. The retake game for the Sentinels with a player advantage, and we're pushing through. But a self-flash, a team flash. We have Dapper that's full blind. Still gets a right-click classic onto Poise. Now Superman's trying to hold it on to behind. The flank from Derek onto C-Link, and he does connect onto TENS. A shock dart on the ground. That's huge on the sink. Another default. The defenders are falling down as well, and Dapper finally gets ended, and Rise gets the pistol round.
Rise tests the entire map with an instant B hit on pistol round. And I feel like they're saying, hey, you guys remember this play? Yeah, you should, because this is a lot of what Sentinels did in early rounds to just mess with the team. B rush in, smoke, your jet's out, everybody's waiting to defend. So I like that, delivering a little bit of the strategy that Sen brought to the table from what we saw here in NA to start this series off.
Agreed. I think it was really good what they did as well, right? To force Dapper away with the teleporter, back away from Garage, which means you don't have a quick flank coming back in front B either. This round, though, for Sentinels, they do have a little bit of pressure towards Long C. Spike is dropped intentionally towards spawn side just to get control of the orb. Already, Derek is at 5 ult points. They're looking to farm this Harness Fury really early into the game once we get into this gun round.
It's smart. Honestly, if you can, the way that we see Sentinels use this, or I'm sorry, Rise use this, is when they get to those sites, you can stop and prevent exactly where we see Sentinels now. If that Sova hits for retake, situations like that, you just do it up the gut on that take. What a call here from Sentinels.
Yeah.
Oh my word, read like a book. This is going to be a massacre. Blood on each side. Who's going to get more, though?
We'll have to see, because we do have 4 Spectres for Rise, though. The drive-bys could be very strong, this null, or should I say, the knife is going to give a lot of information, and there goes the Gravity Well on the ground. Shanks is going to open up with 2. We're clearing out towards the right side, and it's looking almost to be a flawless. At least Sick is able to get 1, but it's still going to be Rise that has a clean take on the A site.
Close on the way in, but Rise finds all of their targets. Nice and methodical. They watch their back for a bit, make sure there's no pushes, and then they can strong push towards A. Just making sure they get through clean. Derek goes for the Guardian. We've seen this before. Superman will be holding back here. It looks like he waits. No, maybe? He's talking to the Merchant. Give him a second. And you look at the other side, it is going to be that 3rd round. We'll see what the bonus for Rise comes to, but slight armor for TENS and Zoms as they did have a bit more util in those previous rounds to try and take Rise off guard. What pressure already from TENS on Sentinels here. I love this. They have so much info already.
Thankfully here for Poise, he is sort of playing the defense. There's that camera still in the window side, but they didn't leave a trap in the back. So this could be a quick squeeze from the Sentinels once we try to get this plant into the C side. So Zoms is under pressure in the back. He's about to get scanned, now spotted, and it's easily down towards that C side. It's open up for Rise. We're clearing out the area, but the flank is still coming. It might get a diversion here as Dapper gets a kill after recon darts are coming out inside the site for the defenders too. So a 4-on-4, a battle around the corner. Shanks might lose this battle, and he will to TENS towards Long C, and we still haven't planted yet because we have so many flashes. Great utility from Sick before. And Rip, we talked about how we were a little bit skeptical of Sentinel's utility usage last week in their games, but this time it looks good when it's Sick on Haven.
That's one of the things my mind was focused on as well. From what we saw versus Optic, it was just a little scattered and too disoriented for the team to work off their own utility. There, once the kill came in long, you saw the camera flash back. Obs had a perfect view. Great job by the observers. Everybody was flashed in sight from Sick. one of the big reasons they keep bringing this Sky to the table, and everybody ran in off of the back of the utility from Shazam too. So super clean. TENS, doing TENS things to start off round 4 here as he picks up a quick frag.
And we talked about colder starts for Sentinels usually. Yes, they're trailing behind by 1, but to see how TENS was able to get the first pistol round kill on that round, and in this round here, first blood in round number 4, he's a little bit warmed up. Now gets cooled down as Neptune's able to trade it off.
Okay, Sens having that push last round gave them so much information. Let's see how they do now. 1 down on each side. And they haven't really got too much as the audio's cut here from Rise. One thing you'll see Rise doing, they did it when they entered C last site, is they are hip and hip. They've been doing so well, I said it, cooperating and site takes, working off utility. And it's like they're tethered to each other. There'll always be a few going in on a certain reaction. And here you can see 3 already up long. As they start to initiate on A, Vans, they're going to meet Sick, but who else?
Very good cage, though, from Poise. That's going to nullify that flash from 6. So we're getting to the site. It's going to be a fake plant, though, and they pay the price. Derek falls. That's a spike included, and the Hunter's Fury is coming out on the defender side. Shazam then also takes down Poise, and that's already 2 players left. Right now for Rise. The plant comes in. They're not really set up for a crossfire, so it's going to have to be individualistic plays, and it doesn't pay off. A shock dart to a rifle, and Shazam mops up the last one on a clean retake. Even a cleaner hold on that round number 4.
I feel like deja vu is happening right now. Like, this is the retake Sentinels we used to know, right? If that site has no one in it, that's perfectly fine. They will use their utility to retake it solid. And that looks super clean as well. Hardly anybody had to enter the site for those frags to go down. Methodical right now by Sentinels to get those 2 rounds, which could be scary if that's the kind of momentum they're going to start bringing. They found a bit of form back here.
Yeah,
Rise.
Agreed. They have to find a way right now for Rise to, they're doing good to eliminate TENS as is Duelist that plays it pretty aggressively on the defender side, but it's also to try to find Sick, as Sick with the flashes for the retakes is the key component as well for the retakes for Sentinels here.
More of that pressure towards long, farming the orb. For Shazam. Like, everybody's trying to get that on the Sova. Derek's is ready here, and they are going to be almost all 5. Interesting choice. 4-1 split as they go towards A.
Hence forced to dash away. Flash is coming out from Neptune as we're scaling up into the A side for Rise, but we're still playing behind the smokes, and it's looking really good now for Sentinels. Not really forfeiting in the site, fighting back against the lower buy of Rise. That's an easier hold, so yes, the Hunter's Fury was ready there for Derek, but on this half buy that they've gotten, they just wanted to make sure that, 1, hurt the economy of Sentinels, 2, try to get a plant down, but none of those boxes were checked on the last round.
Rise pushed to the limit here. They're just reaching into the pockets, finding a little bit of lint there as they purchase up on this round. But Shanks is going to be ready with his Bladestorm. He can chill on that. TENS is going to be ready with his Bladestorm. So round 6 is going to be dueling Bladestorms, which you always love to see. And it is kind of back and forth. We heard the desk talking about these 2 jets, and on average, TENS is doing more damage in the game. But can we see Shanks, Mr. Fourth Quarter, do what he can do, come online, shake off those cobwebs and the nerves of an early game, and have that impact? You have 2 volatile and very good players in the server. It's just, can they get going? And TENS already has a bit of that behind it.
Very interesting here that they hear the Owl drone for Rise, but they don't decide to push up towards Sewers, where they could have had an advantage, but decide to cut noise instead, just to try to force their rotation out late. But they could even weaken down the defense even more. So Dapper is in this aggressive position, does have that dual defense. Yeah. And has that TP back. So they're pretty set up here, Riv, as you mentioned before, to play this retake A side control.
Right. And actually, if nobody can go long, Cat, or Short, I always call it Cat, Short is kind of just snuffed out there because you're worried about backside and then someone long if you don't have the utility. But never mind. Shanks is in and over. What a smart play. They take Dapper down and realized it. Yeah, Sentinels likes to play outside the site, so that entry and pass-through might just be clear.
That was actually pretty clean. Somehow the 0 point connects it to the shoulder. But let's talk about that a little bit later, because we're going aggressive now on the retake. Hunter's Fury to come out, and that Bladestorm that we had at the beginning capitalizes on the last kill, and we have a Prime Gaming Flawless.
Wow. almost was focused on the fact that
right there.
Rise was taking so long.
Yeah.
They weren't really able to get themselves into a position to work off each other too much, but it didn't matter. We were looking for the heat from Shanks, and he starts to light a bit of fire under the team there with a triple. That's going to feel great. His Blade Storm really giving a return on investment there. They're back into rifles, and this is where they might be able to put Sen down a little bit here and start to work on their economy.
Let's just
get into round 7.
Beautiful pop that they had from that combination from Sewers into long A to take down Dapper. So a little bit of studying has been done into how Dapper may potentially set up the rendezvous points towards the A site, and now we have a tied game. And we're just going to change the pace right away. But the first to die is going to be the Null Command. It's going to get traded out, but Sick is hiding in the corner, so that's another one to fall, and that nullifies right away an attempt of an aggressive C-side split. And Zom just pushes forward. Easy 2 kills there. And we're just going to go back and forth. This is going to be a battle of this probably series and even of this season, because like we mentioned before, this is a very important game for these two teams.
It's absolutely wild what this, puts them at, even if they can't get out of this one with having a win. Sentinels, that is. Rise is more than happy to get that, as we've actually seen them be coming on, as I said, online a little bit more throughout the tournament. They did struggle a bit in the beginning, got knocked down, still find their way back through in the open qualifier. And now you see Superman kind of taking responsibility for a previous series, or the rest of the team stepping up and saying, like, we know what to fix. And it does seem like they have patched a few of the holes that made them a little weak, where we saw them continuously super buying on these eco rounds where we have rapid rise. Oh my word, that shot through the wall. That is quite painful, brings Poise down. But yeah, they're working much more as a team than somebody that, needs to rely on just Shanks to carry. Oh my word. When you don't even see the enemy, but they still take you down.
I mean, Poise thought he was safe the whole time and just stared into the Trailblazer being like, yeah, that's fine. Just hit me. I'm still safe in the corner. Gets wall banged by an op, and then also gets shock darted by Shazam into the left corner. But this forces Rise to rush up towards the C site, and at least they traded off for an even situation mid-round. Dapper is hiding in the back of the site. He's just trying to bait for his team, playing anti-flash, and it works out because he does get the frag onto Shanks. Now it's up to Derek and Neptune. Double swing towards the log side. We have the fragment towards spawn site that's holding back for a bit too. Nice flash as well to not get information off the Owl Drone, but here comes the Hunter's Fury, and it misses on the offshot from Tens, but coming out with the Blade Storm gets instantly popped.
No way.
And now it's up to Shazam. The Hunter's Fury is now gone. The Owl Drone's out from Derek, and Shazam's towards the back of the site. Never breaks it. The double swing again, and Rise fights it. And we do have, one more time, a tied game on the first half.
What a shot by Neptune. The desk built him up. There he is, showing up. And if you look at the stats, Neptune and Derek, when you look at the stage 1 here of group stage and a little bit of open qualifiers, Neptune and Derek are the ones that are up top. When you look at the majority of, ADR and cast that kill assist, survive, and trade, they're the ones that have to kind of halt on their entry, knowing that Rise will push past default. They're not just going to try to smoke a little bit. They will look for Dapper behind the platform with 2 people in a trade. So they get aggressive, and that kind of makes it hard to want to instantly retake 4 Sentinels. I think that's where Rise is getting key wins.
Couple of Cosmic Divides available from both sides. We battle up towards Sewers again, but giving it up quite easily here. We're looking to regain control of Grass into Garage. The Owl Drone, you'll hear it towards B. Playing towards the window side is Dapper. They're trying to get ready for any type of pops here, and it's looking to be an execution towards the B site. We have the Trailblazer coming out too.
Pistol round with some ulties this time. Oh, what a trademark.
Yeah, beautiful trademark and flash from Sick, and that allows the retake from Sentinels, preventing his plan from going down. Underhand flash thrown. We're playing both of them turning around, but they still get the kill in a flank from behind. This is Poise at the A-Link. His teammates towards the window. Both players are lined up by Poise, and they take the lead in the series.
That was so 5-head. And still, Poise gets 2 heads, and it's even better. Oh my God, Vans. That trademark was so ridiculous in the way it played out the Cosmic Divide, because since you can't hear anything, it's tough, but you can be alerted by things. Everybody swings the Cosmic Divide. Once they get alerted, oh my word, but an unfortunate and fortunate situation, depending on who you're rooting for.
Yep.
That was awesome, though, from our side. What a shot from Poise. He comes up with a big round there. The shot caller and flanker of round 9.
Change of pace for Sentinels, though. Try to be a little bit more aggressive towards this mid side. Flash towards grass, of course, because we do have a lower buy for the defender side. We've taken control under window. We still have a very, very slow play from Rise, though. A default to hold out every single angle. Just to try to see if they could capitalize on any mistakes coming out from Sentinels, but they're really just set up for this crossfire here. A contact from Tens potentially to dash away, and then Sick to hopefully get a kill off a trade towards this mid-side take.
Yeah. You see Sentinels as well, adapting a bit, moving the trademarks around, not on B now. Like you said, the A retake. The tried and true Sentinels of old. Going back to this just brute force post-planting.
Here it comes. We're slowly inching forward towards grass, and there's 3 players to get ready for a swing here, but it's an owl drone to come out. It's looking towards Garage, though. It hasn't seen Sick, so this allows Tens to come out from the bunny spawn, and that's a headshot onto Neptune. Beautiful cloudburst, actually, to keep Sick in the back. And now, again, they don't have this owl drone to clear out under window. They probably want to keep their recon art later on for an execution, so Sick could actually get a flank here towards window side, but it doesn't work out. Derek does get that frag. Shanks is in the back of the lines here, in the back of the A side. He sees the little toes of Tens floating around towards heaven side, and we do have the headhunter, though, from Dapper as well. Off shot miss. We're trying to get this pick off from the heaven side,
smoke.
and a nice cloudburst there from Shanks to keep his teammates alive under hell. But a dash comes out from Tens on the top of the boxes, denied by Derek, and now a beautiful gravity well coming out here from Superman, leaving Zoms on his own with this Spectre, just looking for the econ damage. He'll be okay to buy into the next round, so you just want to make it expensive here. It's a pretty expensive round for Rise, and that's an off shot down, but it's going to get picked up here by Poise right after as Rise capitalize on 2 rounds in a row, and they take the lead by 2.
Finally, after they go punch for punch, and I wonder, I'm very interested in what Rise does this round. Maybe they just stay away from A, maybe they go late A, but Shanks walked in. That's an easy identify of how Sentinels is playing late in the round, if they're just kind of stacking their power in one spot. So see nobody's probably there.
Yeah.
Actually worked for them very nicely. And then I think a big problem for that last round, unfortunately, was Zoms had to do so much controller work to retake the site with no info, really. And you saw how late he was trying to get in. So him rotating over, not being with the rest of the team, I don't think had enough numbers. And the round goes to Rise. Focus on the ultimate. Null command is up, Vans. And I'd say that would work real well if you're running up short with it.
Yep.
But short is now covered.
Especially when I know that Dilda Fuss is here, right? And it's going to get spotted by Dapper. That could cancel it right away. There was a leg shot that came out earlier by Shanks onto long C, too. So that forced Sick to rotate out, and they have more players on the defender side on C. So it's looking pretty good for Rise if they want to look back towards the A side, but look at this. It's an empty side towards B main. A shock dart doesn't break. Actually, he's too far away now looking at this because we also have the null command coming out. So they're going to be able to get into the site right now, and the plan's going to come in, and it's going to have to be the retake game for Sentinels.
Handed down. Oof. Just slow rolling right now. They're just waiting to see if they push up. As they should. You don't want to get caught off guard with something silly this round. Dapper's coming around with Headhunter. The rest of the team's outside. This is a tricky spot to cover if the util goes up correctly for Sentinels here.
Yeah. Nice little one-way flash for Superman on the top of the B boxes here to spot some legs, but Shanks could not get the kill with the operator. Dapper's moving out now as Gravity Well goes towards that ground. Dapper does connect onto Shanks finally, but this is a nice null command.
Yeah.
That's going to suppress a few, and you could already see here, we're falling back for the defense. We're looking back to save our weapons. That's Dapper to fall, but that's okay because he had that dual defense. And the last 2 will save their weapons, and Rise are looking to finish the half with an 8-4 lead.
Last round before the
Rise
switch.
have always enjoyed that Haven game. I think we were just looking at the last chance qualifier versus Cloud9, right? After a long series, they were able to just kind of pull out all the stops versus C9 and a 13-4 or something like that. I feel like they don't let up. They don't play to their opponent's level. A lot of teams will do that and say, oh, what is our opponent doing? How can we stop that? How can we, make it not work? When Rise just plays their own game. The protocols of what they bring to the table. And a lot of the time, that's sticking together, trading the frags. And at times, let Shanks do his thing. And here looks like one of those times where they're going to have him in front. It's going to be that hit towards A again. But a little delayed here to see what utility they can get first.
Right here.
The delay allows for them to hear this owl drone to come up. But Gets instantly pinged out by Shanks, so that's already both updrafts gone. That's not really going to help out to create space towards that heaven side, but he could always dash in if he can towards the back of default. But
Sentinels are pouncing Vans. Look at they all move real quick to 4 side A, and there's trademarks on C.
We're definitely thinking otherwise now. We're waiting for Derek to clear out towards sewers, just to give an impression that there's going to be somebody following behind that. But we're actually looking out towards the C long, the A long for a pop, and here it comes. The Cloud Burst, the dash in. The daggers are out, but Shazam still gets the frag onto Neptune, and he works out quite well here from how they're holding the A side for the Sentinels once again. 2 more to go. The right click from Shanks. 2 alive is Shanks and Derek, but Zom drives by with this Spectre, leaving Derek in a clutch situation. It's not going to happen. It's 5 for Sentinel, 7 for Rise. Let's take a break, and we'll see how this action will continue after. Now that Rise have had a lot of pops here towards this. All of the 3 sites actually were pretty used, Riv. Lots of defaults towards the A side control, but
yeah,
we still had some good fights from Sentinels on these retake plays.
I feel like it only messed up a few times with Sentinels going back to this kind of full retake, allow the site to be just taken, because you are kind of just in a betting game at that point. If they go to a different site, you are good to go, right? Or if they go to the site you're stacking, I should say, you're good to go. There, they actually moved forward towards A before really getting any info, and bam, it pays off. They bring themselves into a very nice situation, and what a push here to start off by Rise.
Exactly. As you talk about info, we had a nice 0 point towards Grass to spot a few, including Shazam, with this recon guard looking for some information, allowing a 3-person push towards the C site. This now forces Sentinels to get into A. The camera's still up and is set up for Poise, as he's looking for this triple flank area. This is kind of like a Fnatic style going with this triple flank against Cloud9. And here comes that first contact. The crossfire is moving forward, and that's Zom's at the bottom of sewers. A beautiful recon dart, and that's Zom going with the triple kill, leaving the last 2 players inside the back site. A spike plan is not even needed, because it's all going to be gunfire to bring in the Prime Gaming Flawless for Sentinels.
Oh no, the cage baited them. Rise threw down a cage, and Sentinel said, oh, thank you very much. Oh no. That was a pretty cool round by Sentinels, just quickly identifying kills, pushing themselves in, and then saying, you know, it's way too quiet. They got back to the flank really fast there before the site was really planted and taken for post plant. So already setting up. Sentinels had a good read there. See how they start off for this round. Spread out. Maybe a push here coming in from Shanks. He does want it. Frenzy down into Cubby. He wants to get himself a Spectre this round. That's his goal. Wouldn't mind the Marshal probably either. I don't know if that's put out just yet. It doesn't seem like that is a... Oh, it was dismissed Star for the rest of the team to pass after. We saw that to go by into short here for Sentinels. Whoop, spun around for a moment, just making sure the 360 sees everything. And once again, A site is theirs. Vans, it's like they're going to have a quick party.
Yeah, Rise doing a little bit of a Sentinels on their pistol eco, as they're, we're guessing on a C-side stack.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid that owl drone, but they guessed wrong, unfortunately. So you're pretty much set up here to go for exits. And I like now, at least, Rivington, that they're rotating back towards spawn side a little bit more, maybe late on mid control, but not going for these early or pushes towards long C, just because you don't want to give your information away, where Dapper is setting up here his trademarks.
Imagine if Poise found that camera. It'd be the sickest new cam. It'd be like Sova Goddart plus cam. Yeah, let's see. These post plants not going to be what Sentinels or Rise can do anything of this time around. Just somebody go spawn. Crossfire. Oh! Oh, sick!
Oh, they're going for it.
Oh, you're disgusting! You're disgusting!
Oh, fearless. Fearless.
No gun, though. No gun. They all want to go down anyways, get themselves hit as the spike went down. And gone to the spike as well. 7-7, tied up in the 2. We have a bonus round coming in now. And everybody, I believe, keeps what they had. So, or okay, so yeah, Sick went down in the end, as we just saw. I can't recall the round.
I'm not mad at that, actually, right? Because Sick could chase for kills. He could maybe get 1 or 2 more, possibly there, with how the defenders of Rise were kind of set up, and that allows for an early Seekers available for Sentinels on the attack.
3 more. I mean, it's such a powerful thing to have with all the channels and avenues you can actually use. Rise again, pushing. This is something we see give them the advantage on Haven. Early information. They're going to be able to pinch Garage now. Not pinch Garage, but no Garage is coming out.
That's Superman with this hat. Well, lower buy that they have against the bonus of Sentinels. Able to only get 1 kill on that push, and the heal is going to come out the flank from behind. Information, at least that Shanks is there on that flank, but it's only him and Neptune. And pardon me here, we're talking about the bonus of Sentinels, but a low buy at least for Superman, as the rest of them had full rifles. Flash from Neptune inside the site, though, and doesn't work out. He's about to get pinched from the back spawn as well, and that Sentinel's looking clean for the first 3 rounds of the second half.
That was nice. You can't really, you can ask for much more. Shazam and 10's alive, but to be able to clean up the gun round of Rise like that is really nice for Sentinels here. I think they're feeling a bit of momentum. You can almost feel that if you're playing, say, oh, we're 8 now. We're going to push them down here to 9-7. We should be able to control the rest of these rounds. Just play it smart. And you're kind of setting into that. If you think about it like a zone defense, right? As you start the round and be like, will Rise push? Are we going to have to absorb anything? And then Sentinels will play their game. Yeah, setting up, making sure they don't get marshaled or shared right off the bat here.
I like it at least here from Sentinels, just playing a little bit further back, try to get away from the radius of the 0 point.
That too.
Talk about the alternation of like the utility from KO and from Sova to get information towards the A side choke. I kind of like you go for the knife and then the recon guard just to get some late information in the end if you can. But now that gambles and 3-side A stack, and then Sentinels are just looking to get quickly into B, and it's an open site.
Yeah. Rise more setting up for a bit of Garage, bit of long C push here. Sentinel set, all in position. Sick being just that. Wow.
You want him to go for these aggressive pushes when they know that
Absolutely.
they're against these ecos, right? And he's always good for those. Another Prime giving flawless. A Seekers ready for Sentinels into the next round. And now Rise have another opportunity to get their weapons back and weapons online, but also the rounds are dwindling down for them, so they have to start to get these rounds back right here and right now.
You're not wrong, Vance.
It looked they were good for trades, but
yeah,
I haven't seen too much of this when they're playing their defense, right? That piss around, I like the attempt of going for that triple flank, but since then, they've been pretty much just losing their duels and really not getting any strongholds on the C site when they even had stacks on that area. So you're going to figure out ways how they could actually counter this dash in from 10s when Sentinels are going for these splits.
I've got your trail.
Seekers, followed by a flash just around the corner. And again, Neptune's going to be under heavy fire. Look at the amount of utility that's going inside that site. 2 are now spotted. Actually, I like that Neptune's playing inside the Nebula for the flash. Comes out for the kill. They spotted the other one towards the back of the site. And we talked about these trades that had to be good, and it works out. Poise is on his own inside the C site. And now it's Zom's on his lonesome on a 2v1 on C. But we do have the Owl drone out towards logs. Shanks is about to move up towards long C. They have no idea, and that's the operator that connects onto Zoms. And finally, the timeout that was there for Rise, much needed, and they were able to bring back into their senses and get that round.
Yeah, they finally push it through. I want to watch real quick right here. So yeah, Shanks did come around the outside. He would have had to cloud burst on the flank, so that's why as well. Sentinels going forward, thinking the flank is covered, but the fight in the site was just too strong overall. Zoms does consider it, but it's too late for Shanks' operator. So another nice job. The push on A allows Rise to kind of say, hey, we can lean people towards C and B. That's going to help. And a lot of those pushes here, again, from Rise, the early info is so big on Ascent. You want to delete a site. You want to turn it into a 2-site map right away. And that's pretty much what they do if they push.
Nice little battle at the beginning. 0 point that actually tagged Sick, allowing the op to come up from Shanks. But then even better from Sick once he wasn't nullified anymore. When he wasn't disabled from his abilities, came out with their Trailblazer and pushed him back. But Shanks decides to re-peek down from sewers. Another shot missed, but at least he comes out with no damage done. And he's looking for another peek. This man's heavy. This man's ready. He wants to fight. But for the rest of Sentinels, they are rotating back towards the C-side split.
Yep. They're like, you know what? Shanks is kind of feeling it right now. Let's not do that. 0 point comes out.
That's good.
Little pop tag. Yeah, that was nice. Since inside the garage, it's going to tag on grass. Oh, dear. What can he do? Poised is stuck.
Great utility as well. Shock darts out from the attack. Sick is pushing towards garage, though. Poise pushing down for the trade.
Enemy remaining.
And now it's all up to Shazam. He does have the spike. He's on a 4v1. But a long-range battle, Neptune gets the upper hand. And now, since this timeout, we've also tied the game for Rise.
Yes,
we're at
Vans.
9-9.
I was going to say, can I get a timeout victory, please? And Rise says, let's do it. I love to go back at games and see what timeouts have done, because sometimes you see teams make like a 4 or 5 round run. And it's from resetting that position. It's like, hey, hold your angles. Don't rotate so fast. Like, make sure you're only calling what you hear. Don't overcome. Like, simple stuff, but you reset it. Because as you're going through the game, you're going through the motions, a lot of those fundamentals go to the wayside. And you're like, yeah, I'll jiggle peek once more. Oh, I'll try to make that play, when you just need to play with the team. Keep those comms going. 9-9 now here on our first map. This series delivering already. We'll see what can happen. That operator's still alive, and he's on top at B. Sentinels have not made a choice yet.
I'm just liking these rotations now from Rise, Rivington, because once they spot 10s at the beginning, they're like, okay, well, maybe he's going to rotate a little bit later into somewhere else. And the second time that we see him, that's where they're most likely going to pop. Which is why now that Superman pops and sees 10s at the beginning, they stack 3 players towards the A site. Here comes the execution, an updraft towards the top of the A site too, but it's still Neptune that drops him down. Around the corner at Graffiti, big flash is coming out, but we are holding strong for Rise, putting our foot on the ground. That's Derek with a triple kill, and they're looking for the Prime Gaming Flawless once again. Zom's pushing out, and it will happen once we get the res onto Neptune right after.
Slightly flawless. We'll pick them back up. We count those.
It's a next day delivery kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. I love that. I love that it's still flawless. You bring him back up. He is on his feet. And this was such a great round. Pushed into the back of the site, but just in front of the wall. You had poised in a great spot that could identify a lot with a cage covering Cat. And all the Jets this game, I mean, it's Shanks and Tens, have been trying to get on that box, and they finally pay for it. I think they're setting too much of a precedent here.
Yeah.
That they're using that box to open the site, because that elevation is such a game changer. We heard Ender talking about it, and it is really helpful when you're making them look up and down. You talk about the high-low setups, and they're trying to set it up.
At this
9.
level.
Yeah, Rice getting that back in the lead.
Yeah.
Look at them.
And I just wanted to add at that level, at the level that we're at right now for Sentinels and Rise, you got to be ready for those, looking at the high-lows as well on these executions, understanding once you hear the updraft where to look, and Neptune was ready for that for sure. Aldrone out towards sewers, and it's been cleared from window side, so you don't get too much information from sewers. Shanks push all the way down, and that's Zoms, and that's a huge kill, Riv, because that's 0 smokes for the execution for Sentinels now.
Beautiful point, Vance. It does become so hard. You're like, okay, now Tens has to dash in even harder, and we need Sick to be in position, right?
Yeah,
he has to work off it. Even if it's the combo, I think it has to be. You need it into his own smoke, and then Shazam darts out for him, so Tens can identify once they get into the site before he leaves the smoke. Dapper's head hunting. This is what you're going to have through Garage, and it looks like they will execute Tens dashing to site. They have Shanks right there. They're walking into the op, but that puts it close range operator. So
I like this.
It's a little harder to execute. Here we go.
Exactly. A little bit harder to execute because there's not going to be any disruption from an Astra, so you have to come up huge with the initiator. So here it comes, the flash outside the Nebula, but you do have the controller still alive for the defender side, and that's Superman with the gravity well for 2 kills. Hunter's Fury out on defense, Neptune locking it down towards the back of the garage, and now one more spotted, a hat trick and a headshot, bringing out the shiny lights from the Zed-skin, and it's Rise now 11-9. And when we talked about they needed these rounds to start locking them after the timeout, they've been doing so well here.
Let's see this one. Ooh. Kind of my flick right now.
Yeah. You did save Cloudburst right there a bit there, Rivington, right? They just didn't have a chance to dash through.
You did. Good call. And that gravity well. Like, how many the quick doubles does Rise have today? I mean, my word.
Looking really good.
It looks great. See how they set up here again, Van. Sentinels pressured to get this one on a buy. Look at their money. 2,900 credits on top of what they have in the bank right now. So a lot of them just over 3,000 for what could be the final round after this.
Yeah. This would be max bonus here for Sentinels, so at least if you don't get the round, try to get a plant. And that's Shanks spotting now the first one, down towards Garage, and that's Tens falling back. And we're looking to potentially pop back towards B side, but we're guessing differently for Sentinels, actually. Probably off the back of Shazam, having the Aljon to clear down towards Sewers with Sick and Tens working together. We're going into a 3-sided stack for Team Rise on the A site.
I'm trying to keep my eyes open for what is the make or break this round. It's kind of hard to see once everybody's flying in the same area, and that's looks like what we are going to get. This drone could be the big play. It's the dash to the right here for Tens. No, he's up and over once again towards the short.
Behind the smoke here from Boys, and it's so good for Rise.
You gotta be kidding.
We didn't even cross the finish line here,
How? You started to say things, and then it was like, and go to bed.
Yep.
Everyone sit down. Like, what?
Sit, sleep, see you next round.
I got to look at it from overhead view or something. The angles that they're creating with this Cypher cage, obviously block short, that kind of stopped what Tens was doing on the way in. And then the smokes or the views they have just do not seem to have any faults to them. Every time there's a swing, they have a trade or they have somebody to help them. That A-hole looks so solid, and it's hard to just watch it in motion. So I can't wait to watch it over again. Here's last round, and we said it was going to be a tough buy for Sentinels. Rise looking fantastic on defense.
Potentially the last round.
I like it.
Ults to work with.
I like it.
Yeah.
See what they got.
Blade Storm.
Ultimates.
Golda False, Tens moving in with the Blade Storm as well, and there's a gap in the smoke for him to try to fight, but Neptune's still alive in the back, and it's not working out. Everybody's dropping down like flies, and Shazam's like, okay, let's try to dwindle down a bit. Let me try to ping some opponents, have my opponents push towards me, and let's see what I could do with this, and it's going to be nothing. A Prime Gaming Flawless to allow Rise to win the first map, 13-9.